Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about the challenge All Stars 5, Episode 2, titled Rivals on the Edge. Last week on the challenge, 13 pairs of rivals arrived in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, to compete for their share of $300,000, and 4 teams earned stars they'll need to defend to qualify for TJ's final. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist so you can check out my All Stars 5 videos. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. As always, my videos aren't meant to replace watching the episode, so if you missed the episode, I highly encourage you to seek it out before watching my video. Also, I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't forget to set your DVR so it doesn't forget to record it next week. I also put a link in the description so you could try Paramount Plus for free and binge tons of Challenge and the Challenge All-Stars. But let's dive into it. The episode starts with the challengers bringing the club home, playing beer pong and cornhole to celebrate our fresh star holders Adam and Steve, Devin and Leroy, Ashley K and Dario, and Nani and Turbo. Devin wants to target Adam and Steve, who are awkwardly trying to bond in their bedroom and at least are trying to get it together. Amber feels challenged by her partnership with Fessy, but is pushing herself to find the good in him. Nicole, who's wearing these jeans, is making fun of Beth's jeans. This is rich. Beth's jeans ate Nicole's jeans up, I fear. Nicole hates Beth's dirty rolled jeans. They head up to their daily challenge in an elevator that Leroy says makes everyone have to poop. TJ tells them their complicated rules of the format for the season that are similar to All Stars 4. Every daily challenge will have one winning team. If the winning team has a star, their star is protected for the week. After the challenge, everyone will go back and vote for one losing team to go into elimination. Then the winning team will pick one other team to go against the losing team. If the winning team doesn't have a star, they can nominate themselves to go into the elimination to get one. They'll either defeat a star holding team in elimination and steal their star, or defeat a non-star holding team and steal a star from a team that's eligible. And then more rules for the daily challenge. They're 55 stories up and they both need to solve an equation, then hoist each other off the side of the building to grab flags. If either of them fall, they'll both fall. The team who collects all of their flags the fastest will win. Kellyanne lets us know that she wants to win and put the money towards helping animals, which worries me, not for the animals, but I feel like anytime someone says they want to win and put the money towards something good, they never win. When will goodness prevail? They play this challenge 2 teams at a time, starting with Ashley, Anissa, Shane, and Davon. Anissa and Ashley chicken out and act like it's their strategy to be floaters and be friends with everybody. Shane and Davon get some flags, but don't do much better. Beth is terrified of this challenge and is crying. Nicole hates Beth. She's annoyed by her crying. Johnny consoles and encourages Beth, and these two and Adam and Steve take on the challenge. Adam and Steve crush it, getting all of their flags and impressing the group, but Beth is whining and crying to impersonations from Adam and Johnny. Adam and Steve jump in slow motion for their last flag to I Wanna Know What Love Is in a sweet moment. Beth and Johnny are disqualified. Johnny wants to know what being qualified is. Next up are Sylvia and Kellyanne and Frank and Sam. Kellyanne wants to lean over the building and grab the flags. All Sylvia has to do is hold her. Sylvia doesn't want to do it. Kellyanne freaks out and says that Sylvia is basically wasting her life. Both teams are disqualified out of fear. Next are Ashley K and Dario and Veronica and Katie. Katie laughs at this challenge. Y'all knew she wasn't going to do this. And Ashley K and Dario can't figure out their equation, so both teams are disqualified. Big T and Corey struggle with their equation, and Amber and Fessy quickly get all of their flags without even having to jump. The second challenge in a row where Fessy is throwing Amber around. Ashley M calls them the team to beat. It starts raining, so TJ calls it a clusterfuck of a day. TJ offers the 3 teams that haven't gone the option to compete tomorrow and try to beat Amber and Fessy's incredible time of 1.5 minutes, or just decide not to compete. They all decide not to play in the challenge anymore, so Amber and Fessy win the challenge and are safe for the week, and in charge of the second nomination. Back at the house, in a conversation with Amber, Nicole, and Ashley K, Frank starts the campaign by throwing out Adam and Steve's names, saying they're the least connected with the rest of the house. Nicole isn't down for this because they're her friends. Amber doesn't trust Nicole. She thinks Nicole is going to tell Adam all about this conversation. But Amber does run the Adam and Steve idea by her trusted friend Veronica. Veronica is longtime friends with Adam and brings this back to him. Adam instantly assesses that Frank must have started this idea. The next day, Adam meets with Fessy and asks Fessy that if the house votes for he and Steve, that Fessy and Amber send Frank and Sam into elimination against him. When Fessy and Amber round up, Amber is convinced that Nicole ran the information from the initial conversation back to Adam when it was actually Veronica, which makes Amber want to target Nicole. Nicole is now set off, feeling like somebody is stirring the pot against her, and this is all such a mess. They head to the house vote that takes place in such a classic challenge voting setting, a little cabana. The votes pour in for Adam and Steve, with Melissa getting really emotional during the voting about the rumors in the house screwing up her game. Nicole throws a vote at Beth, which makes Beth mad. Beth even mocks Nicole in confessional, which is funny, but Johnny reins Beth in real life to have some self-control. Adam and Steve end up being the house pick, and Fessy and Amber have to pick who to go against them. They want to choose a team that won't come back, so they won't have to take responsibility for it. They head to the elimination, which this season will be called the Jungle. Steve and Adam are buzzing with scary big energy. I would not want to be picked to go against them on this evening. Fessy announces Beth and Jonna as their elimination pick, finding them the weakest team. Jonna feels blindsided because Amber told her she was safe. They'll be playing pole position, where one player will be rolling the dice to get a color, which tells their teammate what color section of the tube to go to. Then they have to put poles in their tube to make it harder to get around the tube. Both players have to get in and out of the tube in every round, and the first team to complete 5 rounds wins the elimination. They get started with the girls having an advantage for being smaller, but the guys are moving with clear urgency and communication. Both teams seem to complete round 3 around the same time, and the girls appear to get to round 5 first. But then there's a commercial and Adam and Steve win the elimination. In the end, they ate that. So Beth and Jonna pack their shit and leave. And we say goodbye to them, starting with Jonna, who largely got screwed over this season in general by being subjected to all of this. I hope she got a good appearance fee for showing up and being tied to Beth, who angered her so much in the game. Despite that, she referenced at the 40 reunion that on 40 she wasn't in the best place. And here, though she was dealing with Beth, she showed up to this ready to compete and didn't really get the chance to. She handled herself excellently in the face of all of it and should be proud of herself. And Beth, like I said last week, it's crazy to see her back on MTV. Beth has amazingly stayed so consistent in her character over the years, proving that she is a real one. Whether that's good or bad is for you to decide personally. She is a villain, and the marriage drama is messy, though I don't think anyone watching really took those allegations too seriously. At least personally, I didn't hold it against Jonna or Beth and just saw it as TV drama, but I also watch a lot of Real Housewives and am desensitized to cheating allegations. She came into the season appearing to want to work on with Jonna, but Jonna wasn't really having it. And I don't know how sincere Beth was in her apology either. I was never expecting them to really work it out, since Beth was still talking about Jonna cheating on her husband after they filmed this season. And if they would have left off saying they were friends here, it would have felt like such a fake forced narrative. So I'm glad the show kept it real. I would put Beth on the same level of Josh. I think they both should give up on the challenge and explore other avenues. I could see her on House of Villains or Traitors, but I don't know why she shows up to the challenge. She never tries in the challenges. At least try. The episode ends with Kellyanne and Sylvia meeting. Sylvia basically tells Kellyanne that she has dogs and Sylvia has kids, insinuating that Kellyanne has nothing to go home to. These two fully pop off on each other. Kellyanne is crying and begging to go into the next elimination, and we're so back. My thoughts on this episode: this felt like the first real episode of the season. I always liked the heights challenge. TJ was really disappointed that everyone was quitting, but the players being terrified of heights is one of my favorite parts of the challenge. But I think they should somehow fling them off the building anyway. It is a bit lame that they were just standing there at the top of the building doing nothing. The weather interrupted the challenge, which doesn't happen often, and I get that for safety they couldn't continue, but if I were a contestant and one of the other players actually wanted to still play the next day and forced everybody come back and have them set it up, I would have wanted them out of the game for that. So they didn't really offer them a fair alternative. The players who didn't get to play because of the rain should have just been safe from elimination because they couldn't compete. I thought the editing of the misunderstanding between Amber, Nicole, and Veronica was masterful. This was a 60-minute episode, and it was enough time to fully tell the story and left me completely understanding of how everything went down. Yet another example of Veronica being a sneaky game player. I thought the girls would win that elimination. We just saw this elimination on season 40, and it seems to be geared against the taller person, but oh well. I'm excited for next week because we're getting the Anissa-Ashley fight. Very excited to recap that. And a closing thought: we're nearing 10,000 subscribers, so every new subscriber means a lot to me. I relate to you all because we have a lot in common, and I know there's so much negative media that you can consume. I'm trying to make something good with this channel, so let's get towards that goal. I'll be back next week with more Challenge All-Stars 5. I'm also covering the Traitors and Deal or No Deal Island. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye!